decimals or something like that, because it doesn't have a lot of sense to go.
1 hour limit on videos. This is what happened.
Yeah, well, it's not critical for now. It's a technical discussion. So I propose maybe to limit this number of decimals as well. It's not critical. It doesn't affect a lot of stuff, but it could be a good practice. And by the way, in Liquid, the default is actually not 8, but 0, which is also bad practice, because you wouldn't have this visibility and you wouldn't be able to renominate the asset, because the renomination, when you try to do the split, is basically you reduce the number of decimals on 1, and you get 10 shares instead of single share. So the actual amounts, atomic amounts in the contract do not change. The only thing that changes is basically a user interface representation of that fact. So this decimal is the second question I'd like to discuss after the title. And there is a third question, which is basically a negative inflation. We had a request from Swiss companies to have a negative inflation for RGB assets, because, for instance, if they do a stable coin, they have to maintain the deposit in the bank, and it has a negative interest rate. So basically, they can't do that in their expense, so they need to move this cost on the users of the stable coin or asset. And there is 2 ways how the negative interest rate can be implemented with RGB. The first, more complex, is not possible under RGB20 schema, but will be possible with the release of simplicity. It's basically create simplicity, a new type of schema that defines in the RGB20 asset, you have the rule that the sum of inputs is equal to the sum of outputs, exactly. Meaning that you can't produce or you can't destroy the asset. The only way to burn is actually burn the actual transaction output without spending the asset, and it can be provable. But inside RGB, you have this strict rule. With the simplicity, you can change that rule in another schema, by creating other schema, saying that, for instance, each time you do a transfer, you reduce the number of assets on a certain percent or something like that. Or you can stick that to the block height, basically do that as a time function. But that's a very complex and risky route, I would say. And also, again, it will require support of other schema type by the wallets. So another idea how the same thing can be implemented inside RGB schema is basically by introducing another meta parameter like decimals, but this parameter will be an deflation rate, and the amount will be always kept the same. But like with the counting amount, which is basically a user interface trick done with the decimals to the atomic amount, the deflation rate will just decrease according to some formula or percentage over the time, the atomic amount starting from the moment of issuance till the moment of time, and present user interface and the issuer with the information of how much value of the asset is linked to this atomic amount. And that's quite a simple way, and I also would like to hear opinions on this topic. So 3 topics: the length of title, the limitation of the number of decimals up to 8 or 10 at most, and the negative inflation or deflation done with either simplicity or a special meta parameter in RGB20 schema. That's the 3 questions I have opened. Feel free to share your thoughts on that if you have any, or probably we will create we have already issue for the title. Olga, if you can please share the link, and we will create 2 more issues for the decimals and the negative interest rate as well.
Oh, good. So you had the GitHub issues about this desired open points. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's probably all on the site. I will stop the screen sharing and we'll shut up finally.
Great job. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them of any sort.
Yeah, hi. I just had a question. For example, like when we will be doing like RGB assets on top of Lightning, so that will require another kind of new user interface, or it will be integrated over here. I'm not sure like if it's possible, but like will it be like the same kind of settings, or there will be some different things that will be required?
Well, because this tool is specific for asset management, and there is no rationale behind doing asset management over the Lightning, because these are ephemeral data. So you can actually, you can't issue assets within the Lightning channel. You can issue assets to the funding output of the Lightning channel, but in this case, again, it's on-chain part. So basically, for asset management, there is no point of integrating Lightning at all. And where the Lightning will be required is the wallet part. And inside the wallet, of course, the Lightning will play a crucial role, and on the wallet presentation that will be covered. But here in the asset management application, there is no much you can do with that, with the Lightning.
Okay, understood. Thanks.
Okay, maybe if no one has any questions, it's been 1 hour and a half, and we can probably wrap this up.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you, guys.
It was a big pleasure that there was so much people.
Thanks.
Thanks
It was
to you.
fabulous.
Thanks so much.
Very nice to see.
Thanks. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.